Welcome back to another episode of Spectrum Talks. I'm one of the many hosts here, Alex Dart. I'm here with my crew, Riley, Matt, David, Leo, Tyler, Big John, Brad, and Bobby. Today we're going to be talking to you about something.
About something, guys. Yeah. About something.
Anybody have a topic you want to talk about today?
I can't think of.
Super Bowl.
I was
had in mind.
I was actually gonna, because some of us in this room weren't here for no edits.
Super Bowl.
Let's do this. I'll put it to a vote. Who wants to revisit no edits from Friday?
Remind me of the topic there.
Glass half full with autism.
I think that would be a good one.
Or there's the Super Bowl.
I don't know how we relate Super Bowl to, because Super Bowl is something to talk about for fun, and Spectrum Talks is
Okay.
it's definitely
no,
an
it's no filter
educational
topic
kind of thing.
from Friday.
Awesome.
Happy stuff then.
So then to kind of rephrase what, excuse me, to kind of rephrase what Tom was saying on Friday on No Edits, autism kind of gets a bad rap sometimes. It's talked about like it's, the worst thing ever. But let's talk about some advantages and, the upside and the bright side to having autism. So, yeah, look at it as a glass half full.
It's just not. Well, autism's, even when they find a cure for autism, it's still, the problems is going to get, the problem's going to get much worse. There's going to be more people with autism and all that.
What do you mean?
There's more of, the problem's not going to go away.
Well, I don't think it's a problem, though.
It's not.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem. I think, we need to look at this as having autism is not a dark and gloomy diagnosis that governors, politicians, scientists, doctors, who all think, oh God, it's bad, we need to cure it. Well, shut up, because first of all, you don't have autism. Third of all, you don't know what it's like living autism. So why don't you shut up and talk about something you do know, and not something that you just and.
So you would say doctors don't know about autism?
Well, they do, but they don't have it. So it's sort of like, they're studying it. I know they know a lot about it. I'm not saying they don't. What I am saying is they don't know what it's like to live with it. No. So I always go by the phrase, you need to walk in another person's shoes before you can understand what they feel, what they're living with. You can't...
See,
especially so with a flight attendant.
I mean...
What do you mean?
What does this have to do with autism?
Hang on, Matt.
It has to do with walking in someone else's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Okay, weird tangent, but...
But it works. Because they don't have autism, you don't think they should be...
Well, I think they should. It's not that. It's just like, I think they should spend a day with someone with autism to understand them more, instead of...
You don't think they have it?
They probably have, but I think it's the people who make insatiable claims that I'm more concerned about.
That's fair.
That's why I said what I said. It's not every single... there are some good people out there. I'm not saying everyone, but I think to understand it, you need to be around with people without... You just need to... instead of, taking them as a patient, Mm-hmm. I don't know how else to say it. Or grouping them in cattle, or I guess just... Like you, Alex. You've been with us. We all have disabilities of some kind, so... I would say you've been around us a lot, and you just by being around us, you sort of have studied and observed what we do. So, therefore, you know a little bit more, not in the sense of like not actual knowledge, but more of like behavior, what people
Experience.
Experience.
Sure.
Exactly. Real world experience.
Definitely. So just bring it back for a second. This is glass half full that we're talking about today. Not saying anybody's points have been wrong, but let's try to stay positive for this podcast.
Amen. Yes.
So, does anyone have an experience where anything that resulted from you having autism has actually helped? Like, anytime that it's helped you hyper focus and, you know, like get a job done. So like, I don't have autism, but I have ADHD, and I'll give an example. Like, so my ADHD makes it so I can't focus on one thing.
Attention deficit
usually.
disorder.
Yeah.
It's cousin, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Ah.
It makes it so I can't focus on just one thing. I like to do multiple things at once. And I was in a group project once, and one guy wasn't pulling their weight, and everyone was kind of struggling to figure out what we were going to do. And I ended up just picking it up because I was able to, because of my ADHD, I was able to multitask effectively and be able to handle 2 roles at once, basically. So we ended up getting everything done over time.
Let me tell you that, buddy. There's you can get autism that you can't. Yeah, it's hard for you to get over stuff as the average person and all of that. Autism. Yeah, autism is high function. Yeah, some of us have it. Some don't. Some they think they. Some of them. Some you can't tell from some of them they have autism or not. Some of them hide better than others.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you think you need to hide it?
No.
I agree.
You think it looks like some of them don't have it, but they really do. It affects people in different ways.
Sure. I would say you guys get a unique perspective on life that most people don't get. Like just experiencing life with you guys, the way you guys talk about certain things and the level of enjoyment you get out of things is, I would say it's greater than the average person. I think it's really cool, honestly, to like watch Riley get passionate about sports. Like that's something cool to watch. Or Matt, I like watching you talk about drones, just you getting excited. And you know, like Brad, when I saw on Instagram after you'd shot that
yes,
Type 99,
yes.
when you gave the double thumbs up
Yeah,
at the camera.
brought to you by
was...
Dieter is photobombing this podcast.
Hey,
I
it's
want
all
to make a
good. It's all
live
good.
report of this. Breaking news, Dieter just walked away.
It's all good. I think
There.
you guys are able to...
Exposed.
I think you guys are just able to get a really pure enjoyment out of life that I think gets lost a lot on a lot of people. I would say that's something to be celebrated.
Yeah, I would say so. Just have different viewpoints on the world. Like David, for example, could totally have a different viewpoint from me.
Sure.
But we all see the world differently, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think autism is sort of like a variety of food, you know. You just never know what you're gonna get.
It's like a box of chocolate.
Oh no! Okay, no.
Okay, Forrest.
Okay. You.
You got the reference, right?
I did.
All right.
But my point is, you know, it's just really cool to just see all different people with autism and just see what they think and what they do. And it just shows that we're all different, but we're all together in one thing.
Definitely. So, getting on, because I know a couple of you have them. I don't know if everybody does. I'm going to change the topic a little bit. Some of you guys have deadlines on some projects now. How do you guys handle deadlines?
I have no deadlines on what I'm working on.
Me either.
Yeah. Seriously.
I got some.
Were you going to say something, David?
Yeah. I handle deadlines seriously because those are what come first.
Sure. Is it harder for you to, like, what strategies do you use to make sure you meet a deadline?
Put in enough work, time management. You know, I have to set my priorities straight.
Sure.
You know, I treat this project as if it were my own, as if I'm on the deadline of my own project.
Sure. Do you use like a calendar, or like how do you do time management?
I usually plan for each day,
Mm-hmm.
and if Brendan gets on my case, it's not because he's being a jerk. It's because he wants to push me, and I want to push myself.
Sure.
To meet that deadline, because I know how important it is to a client. I'm trying to do the best job I can.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Riley? I know I've given you a couple deadlines lately. What do you do to try to meet those?
Kind of like David was saying, chip away at it a day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying earlier this morning, I did a little bit last night, just getting a couple of takes and lining them up with, getting takes and putting them with the same takes.
Sure.
Like, for example, if I was to say, I like hot chocolate. I like hot chocolate!
Right.
I'd line them up and see which one is the best.
Sure.
I don't know if that's what
Well,
you would do.
I mean broader scope. How do you, like if I said, why don't you take Tom's audio today and I want it done by Wednesday at noon? What if you were working on Make a Song at that time? How are you going to meet that deadline now?
I'd shelve Make a Song and work on that.
Do you just crank at it all day long until it's done?
I mean, there have been a couple times where I just need to take a break and then come back at it.
So maybe even if you do have a deadline, it's important to remember that you can only do something for so long until you're just being counterproductive.
I have something to add.
Yeah, hit it.
So the thing about deadlines, quite recently, I've been working on myself. Like right now, I'm working on a documentary that I'm really excited to make, and then I got some stuff with my dad and his YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Brad was also a part of that, so me and him got some editing to do, and so right now and then I'm gonna edit what I did today at some point. But the nice thing is, I haven't had a deadline in a while, so I've been actually just creating content that I think people would enjoy, and I've been working on it when I get to it. I can't so as soon as I can get back, I will get back on the documentary, but I have some more editing stuff to do, and so I sort of complete it like a checklist, I might not get it done today, but I have all the time in the world to complete it. For me.
So is that a deadline then?
I don't. No, because a deadline is set that you have to complete it by this date. So I don't know how you can make that a deadline unless I don't know, and it just doesn't add up because deadlines are set usually by time, date, a day, or a year, or the whole 9 yards. So if you want to get technical, I can.
Right.
I can give you technical stuff.
I got it.
So I mean I just do.
You work at it till it's done.
Yeah.
Cool. You're gonna say something, Riley?
I was actually gonna ask, hey Brad,
Yeah.
what do you do to meet the deadline?
Well, I do take it seriously, but just, well, when I gotta get it done, I gotta get it done. And just whenever, just as soon as possible. That's pretty much how I handle it, and all I can say for that.
So what would you do if, like, we handed you no edits and said it's got to be done by Friday, because we're posting it on Friday.
We'll postpone it Friday.
No, we would post it up on Friday.
Yeah.
We would post it on the YouTube channel on Friday. We wouldn't postpone it.
Of course.
We have to have the no hairs, no filters because we talk about stuff for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Shameless plug.
Tune in Fridays, right?
Just
Speaking of which,
I would just get it done
how's
as
your
soon as I can.
podcast going?
Just get it done as soon as I can. Just don't take too much time. Just whenever.
But what if it has to be done by Friday?
Right. Just
What strategies and steps would you take to make sure that you got that done by Friday? Like maybe you were planning to have it done by Wednesday, but then Tom came and said it's got to be done by Friday.
Just keep it.
It's all good, Riley.
that's well. It sounds like I have lots of time left. If Wednesday instead of Friday by Wednesday. But would I have to get to receive the work?
We handed you. What if we gave you files, right?
Yeah.
Like a raw no edits that
Right.
hadn't had anything done to it, and said, "We need this completely polished off by Friday." Would you take it home, or would you work on it here and just postpone other projects that you have, or
What day are you giving him the files?
say we did it today?
Yeah.
So Monday.
You have a week,
Yeah. Of course. Especially for today.
right? So let's come up with some strategies. Let's hear from people who have had to deal with deadlines. I know Tyler probably has with projects and stuff.
Yeah, I think by my nature, I'm a procrastinator.
Sure.
I see it
Oh,
myself.
Nobody
I totally
likes
am too. I get that.
procrastinators. Nobody likes paper wasters.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess you don't like me.
Oh!
Well,
shots fired.
It's not, I
Matt
might not
Tyler-
like procrastinators, but I love you both. So, you can't really say that because I like you, Alex. So,
I know. I'm just messing with you.
yeah.
Besides,
So,
Tyler is a super cool guy for playing
Right?
for Belmont instead of UTK.
Exactly.
Right, Tyler?
Actually.
Right?
I don't even like you, TK. I can,
But I think that there came like a certain point when all the procrastination leads to a certain amount of stress that's just too much.
You're a business major. You should know by now that procrastination in the business world is unacceptable.
That's true.
Yeah, it is true.
But
Hey, Matt, there is you can have a little bit of procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like what I've kind of learned is do enough on the front end where you've kind of chipped away and set up a good plan and you've done a little bit of work, so that there's still a little bit of stress towards the end that makes me work hard. Because that's the thing is some people do better work under stress, and I'm one of those people. But it got to a point where I was putting too much stress on myself and I was just overloading. So knowing how to manage that and doing some things early and then still having a little bit of stress, but not too much where it gets overwhelming.
Right. Definitely.
All right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So going off of that, you would say it's good to have some stress at the end that motivates you?
For me personally, I know that. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what is something that motivates each of you guys? Like, how do you what drives you to get projects done? Like Tyler's saying, the stress at the end is what gets him, over the finish line. Like, just makes him buckle down and get it done. What motivates you guys to finish things?
All you have to do is do it. It's always about me working over there sometimes. They said we want this done as possible, so we do it. And,
What makes you want to do that, though, John?
what?
Why do you want to get work done?
Because it's good for you.
So you like the impact it has on you? You feel good when you get something done?
Yeah.
All right. So we've got the right amount of stress that pushes you over the edge and gets it done. We've got the dopamine rush that comes from finishing a project.
Sometimes you work so hard, you get tired and you go to bed and want to go to sleep. Don't y'all ever get in that situation
Where you work
wanna
hard and
y'all
put in
wanna
a
hop
good
in,
day's work.
y'all want to hop in that bed and go to sleep.
Right. Definitely.
What motivates me to get projects done is see. I look at it like if it's my own creation.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it as I'm creating a story that I think people will enjoy.
So it's passion for you.
It's passion for me.
It doesn't even feel like work.
It doesn't feel. I enjoy doing it.
Mhm.
I like, and then the fact is when we're like if we're on set, it's passion for me, and I just like to make jokes when we're on film sets and stuff, because at the end of the day, it's not work to me. It's more of like a paid passion of mine that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to create, tell stories, make shows,
Sure.
do all this, and with this documentary, it's still in hypothetical planning stages, but
Definitely.
as I want it to, I got a lot of stuff on my plate right now, but
Sure.
it's gonna come out. Mark my words, it's coming out.
Definitely.
And you guys are gonna be amazed.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
What about you, Bobby? What motivates you to get projects done?
If I have a deadline, I work to meet that as soon as possible, so I have free time to do whatever else I want in the meantime.
Sure. So it's the
It is-
desire to do what you want makes you get your work done, because you feel like you shouldn't play before your work's done.
Yeah, it is the
That's
desire
fair.
for free time is what I...
Definitely. So you would say, is it hard for you, like if a project isn't finished on a Friday, is it hard for you to go have fun on the weekend knowing that you still have work waiting for you? There's no right answer, I'm just asking.
Not as such, no.
You're able to separate.
If it is
the
something
work
that I
week and
really
the
want to
weekend.
be done, it'll end up stressing me out, and I might end up wanting to bring it home for the weekend. But
Sure.
otherwise, if it's not something that needs to be done right before the weekend, and it's not going to hurt me waiting the weekend through it, it will not be stressing me.
Definitely. Leo, what motivates you? Why do you, when you're doing your book, what makes you keep trucking on it, What makes you keep doing work for it?
Well, it was a best-selling technique that kept me motivated.
Okay.
It was the very unique cover idea that I dreamed up.
Sure. So it was the idea of the book that kept you pushing at it until
I
it was
figured
done?
it out based on how Jeff Kinney succeeded on the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. So you would say it was when you had the idea and you had the cover, just keeping that in your head and knowing that you wanted to write a book is what kept you working on it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So it sounds like we've got a few different, it sounds like something different motivates everybody. There's passion, there's, like some people, they can't play until the work is done, so they get it all out of the way. Some people work well under stress. For me, it's, like Tyler said, I'm a procrastinator too. But for me, this probably isn't great, but it is how I work. I like to...
Everyone's covering their nose. I just see it.
Oh,
We have the
God.
guy laughing over
Oh,
Did
God.
happen.
Big John, open the door, man.
Freak.
All right, you know what? I'm going to cut it so we can all get out of here.
Before we do, one more thing.
Yeah, hit it, man.
Another side of deadlines that people, I guess, don't talk about is like you've done everything on your end, and you're just waiting and waiting for other people to get back to you. Like I have experience with this, with the fact that
Speak, Pastor Man.
just be a man. You'll be all right. There's stuff that I want to I want to get past, but it's like I want to wait. I have to wait on someone up and higher. So, yep. I don't really smell it. So.
Big John boofed.
Okay, that's all.
All right. This has been Spectrum Talk
stuffy nose.
with the crew on the Avenue. We hope to have you guys tune in next time where we talk about something. All right, get out of here.
I'm gone.
Yeah, let's